If you want to get better at football, you have to play more football and stop wasting time on things that don't matter. Most people train for about an hour a week outside team training and practice free kicks with their friends. Over the span of a year, that won't get you anywhere near where you could be at. The vast majority of people waste their training time doing what's not needed and expect improvement. The gap between the average player and the elite is not defined by talent, but instead how much time and effort they put into their development and how focused that effort is. No footballer in the world becomes successful by doing the bare minimum. Cristiano Ronaldo was known to be the first one to show up and the last to leave team training. He worked on his shooting and heading relentlessly every day on the streets, and look where he is now. Berbatov, who has one of the best touches in the world, would dedicate hours training alone with the ball and the wall and mastering his control. Growing up in Brazil, Neymar would spend hours playing street football, working on his flair by practicing and repeating the same skills over and over. All of these players and many more were asked by interviewers on how they got to such a level, and they all had one thing in common: they obsess over football. They didn't get better by only turning up to team training. They were committed to getting better. If you want to reach that level, you need to think the same way. You need to train every day with purpose. The rule is that it takes 10,000 hours of deliberate practice to become an expert at any field. You might be wondering what you should be focusing on. The Pareto principle states that 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts. You can apply this to football. If you're serious about improving, you need to focus on the 20% that will give you 80% of the results. That means you can't be spending hours and hours doing 100 different drills. Here's what will truly have the greatest impact on your game. The most important attribute a footballer can have is a clean first touch. It is the foundation of everything you do on the pitch. If your first touch isn't clean, it doesn't matter how good your passing or shooting is. You're going to lose possession of the ball and your teammates won't trust you again. A poor first touch is one of the quickest ways to get yourself caught in dangerous situations and lose the ball. A great first touch takes hours to develop. If you want to master it, you have to spend time every day working on it. That could mean practicing passing the ball against the wall, controlling it with different parts of your foot, and controlling it aerially, which is where most players lack in their first touch. This is what half of your training should look like, and I'll explain the other half in a second. You should be doing wall juggling every day for 30 minutes minimum. Your first touch has to be second nature to you. If you improve your first touch, you'll get better at everything else in football. But alongside first touch, I'm going to tell you the most crucial thing you should be doing: small-sided games. Alongside first touch, small-sided games are one of the best things you can do for your football development. The smaller number of players means you get more touches on the ball and a level of intensity that can't be replicated in traditional 11v11 matches, which will help you improve your ability to keep the ball under pressure. These games force you to think quickly and get your head up to make the right decisions. In an ideal scenario, you want to be playing with players at the same skill level as you or higher. Many drills consist of working a specific part of your game in isolation. However, in small-sided games, you apply everything in a game setting where you're constantly under pressure and every action you take counts. You also become more creative on the ball by playing football with others more often, and the higher tempo forces you to adapt quickly to the situation. But beyond your technical skills, they also simulate match conditions, which keeps your body moving throughout the session as if you were playing an actual game. These two things are the 20% of the training that will give you 80% of the results. This is what almost all professionals do to reach the top and maintain their level. There's a reason every elite club in the world uses small-sided games, supplementing it with drills such as rondos that work your ability to pass and receive. If you're training every day and your work consists of improving your touch and small-sided games, you're already doing more than 99% of players out there. If you learned anything new, leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.